If you've ever had anybody tell you that SBMM isn't that strong, or SBMM doesn't make a huge difference to Warzone, then this video is going to show you quite the opposite, in fact. Now, skill-based matchmaking on Warzone is practically a fact of life at this point, and when combined with Verdansk, which was a map that had some very questionable design decisions, sometimes really high SBMM and really poor map design meant really rough games. But the same could be said for Caldera. Although the map design is better, SBMM can absolutely change how a lobby functions, especially since the loadout change. So I thought it'd be interesting to take one of my sweatiest lobbies and one of my more easy average lobbies and show you just how substantial a difference you can see from SBMM. And in the background I've got a bit of gameplay from myself, Jack, Stodd, and Westy. Now this first lobby you're seeing and all the statistics here are from WarzoneRank.com, which is a very useful website for analyzing lobbies, but also analyzing your own gameplay and seeing how the meta's going, how your accuracy is going, so on and so forth. And you can see in this lobby two major statistics: the number of player kills in the lobby and the spread of which it increases, and you can also see the survival time of the lobby in 5-minute increments. So you can see how many people are alive after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 20 minutes, with each circle getting smaller and smaller as the game progresses. The outermost ring is 5 minutes, then it's 10, then it's 15, and the last ring in the center is a 20-minute timer. And this was an average-ish lobby. According to WarzoneStats.gg, this was about a 1.0 or a 0.9, but of course that can't be 100% accurate due to the privacy settings of certain Warzone accounts. But I would say generally, off of the games I played, this is about a 0.9, I would say. And it did really well. You can see that the lobby lasted a really long time. 5 minutes in, 91% of players were still alive. 10 minutes in, 68% of players were still alive, and 15 minutes in, 44% of the lobby was still up and running. And that's really impressive. The player retention time here is really strong, and that's a really good metric of a decent lobby where people are living for a substantial amount of time. Very few people, as you can see, are getting high kill games. In fact, I'm the only person in this lobby with 12 kills except for Westy. Generally, this lobby is sort of a standard-ish lobby where people are getting a good spread of kills, but the lobby is staying alive for quite a long time. So you may be wondering, well, how substantial does SBMM change what happens in the lobby? And, well, the answer is pretty incredibly, pretty drastically almost, in ways that you can't even begin to imagine. So to start with, on the left here, now I'm going to say that this lobby was probably around a 1.2 or a 1.3, so a very high KD lobby. To the left here, you can see that all of the kills are pretty much the same. The only exception to this is myself and my teammate, who was a random, who got 17 kills. I got 10. Everybody else was spread super tight. And what this represents is a very strict amount of SBMM, where most of the players in the lobby are of a similar caliber to each other, and because of that, very few of them are getting high kill games. It's because they're all dealing similar amounts of damage, they're all mostly, in most situations here, killing the same number of players, so you see that really compact kill count, where everybody is cannibalizing the lobby really fast, because you might win one gunfight, but you get third-partied, or you win 2 gunfights and the next one you lose. And that's what's happening in these lobbies. There's no people staying alive for substantial amounts of time. People are dying extremely quickly. And you can see that represented really well on the survival time. Take a look at this. This is absolutely crazy. Within 5 minutes, 77% of the people were still alive. Within 10 minutes, less than half the lobby still remained. And within 15, 18%, and within 20, 6% of the lobby remained. Compare that to the first page, and it's completely night and day. This first lobby, which was a lower KD lobby, lasted substantially longer, and the gameplay felt pretty good. In this lobby, the lobby was pretty much dead after the end of Circle 2, and after 10 minutes, half of the entire server was gone. So you can see huge differences between the amount of damage and kills in a non-sweaty lobby of low KD players and the high KD players who have lower damage and less kills because there's so many of them in one concentrated place. And I think this is really interesting information. On top of that, you also see that in the lower skill lobbies, most players are moving less of the time. Now on Warzone Ranked, you can actually track how much of the time you were spent moving in the game, And generally speaking, I tend to float around 89 to 95% movement, and in the low KD lobby I was moving 91% of the time, and in the high KD lobby I was moving 93% of the time. But in the low KD lobby, the rest of the general population were moving far less substantially, some of them camping very clearly in coordinated positions, whereas in the high KD lobby, everybody put up high numbers in terms of movement, bar a couple of people, which meant that these people either died really quickly and didn't get an opportunity to move, or there were just people absolutely rinsing the entire map, going back and forth, getting in helicopters, getting in trucks, and just push, push, push. So kills and damage, how long the lobby survives for, and even the amount people move in the game are really big determining factors in how a high KD lobby operates, and you can just feel it. Like, I knew this was a high KD lobby the second we got in it. We did still win, and I did finish with 10 kills, but it was hard. Like, every single kill was difficult to get, every single position was difficult to get into, and it was a really tricky match to get through. The average number of headshots in the high KD lobby is also higher as well as the average number of assists and downs, whereas in the lower KD lobby, headshots, assists and downs are much lower, meaning that in the higher KD lobbies, it seems people are working together more coordinatedly to get the downs happening, to get the assists on the kills, and they're also just better players generally speaking. They're landing more headshots, they're making those, split decision situations where a single headshot can make a difference. I thought this information was just generally really interesting because as somebody who plays this game on a daily basis, and I play it earlier in the day just because I like to get it out of the way before 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, which is the end of the average work day for most people, it's so interesting to see. Because the later lobby and the high KD lobby was sort of around 5 PM, 4 PM where people started getting home, whereas the low KD lobby was earlier in the day. And of course we know SBMM is affected by population, people who are online at the time, so the later in the day the higher the SBMM tends to get, which is why casual players tend to have more of a rough time. And it's fascinating to see this data represented in real time. And it's fascinating to see how much of a difference a demon lobby can make from an average or decent lobby. So if you've ever had those games where it just feels like Warzone is crushing you into the ground and flat out oppressing you, this is what it looks like. This is the statistics behind that. People are moving and pushing people more often. They're dealing more damage, working more coordinatedly, getting more headshots, getting more kills, more assists, more downs. And so many of them are doing that at the same time. The lobby kills just get crushed together because nobody can really get any impressive kills. But what's even more crazy is if you ever have a game where by the end of Circle 2 the lobby's just dead, it's absolutely filled with monstrous players. We're talking 15 minutes into this lobby and only something crazy like 18% of people lived. Even 10 minutes in, half the lobby was already dead. And that's an insane metric for just how impressive SBMM can be at certain times. I hope this information was interesting for you guys. And I think it's really cool to be able to visualize this data. Let me know your thoughts. Of course, I don't really care much about SBMM anymore personally. We know it's in the game, we know it's not going to go away, so it's interesting to see how it operates. How have your games been? Do you play in the evening? Do you play in the morning? Do you play on weekends? And what does it look like for you? We're on the road to 100k here, so if you can drop a like and subscribe, that'd be really helpful, and I'll catch you again in the next video.